AITA for leaving my disabled friend behind as she was late. I, 25, and my friend, 22F, had made plans to go see a concert. I had managed to get some good tickets for a great price. For context, we're both neurodiverse. I do get stressed about lateness or changes to plans, admittedly. I had also paid for the concert tickets and travel tickets. The agreement was she'd cover food and drinks. A is consistently late to things. This has led to conflict before. I purposely told her I'd booked an earlier train than the one I'd booked. We were working to a budget, so paid for non-changeable tickets using a rail card that gives two people a discount if they're traveling together. I told her the earlier train as I couldn't afford any extra expenses. A was late. Missed the earlier time. I confessed I'd told her the wrong time as, I know what she is like, and told her the actual time. She laughed and said she was on her way. It was 5 minutes to the departure time. I sent her a screenshot of the tickets and platform number so she could get through the barriers, but said I was going to get on the train instead of waiting at the entrance for her. A told me to wait, and that she'd be there. The train left without her, and with me on board. A rang me, asked where I was. I told her I was on the train, but if she spoke to the ticket desk they could help her book a later train if she still wanted to come. She started shouting at me, saying I was horrible for leaving her behind and that I knew she couldn't afford another ticket. She blamed her ADHD for being late, which I said wasn't an excuse, as I have ADHD too and managed to make it. In the past I've shared tips with her on what I do to be on time for things. I told her I was happy to meet her at the venue, if she could get here. Her response was that she was going home and didn't want to go anymore. I rang another friend, Z, who lives near the venue, and said I had a spare ticket. They went with me. We had a great time, but I was angry at the other friend. Fast forward 2 days. She's still kicking off at me over messages, saying I'm a horrible person for giving her ticket to someone else and going without her, as we made plans to go together. I've tried to acknowledge her feelings of missing out, but ultimately said I can't not live my life just because she's late. I also pointed out she hadn't paid for anything, so it's not like she lost money. I said I could have waited and got a later train so we could use my railcard discount and both be able to go, as she could have afforded it if she had the discount. I couldn't afford any more expenses for the trip. Z paid for food in exchange for the ticket. A couple of mutual friends are saying I'm in the wrong and should have waited and hung out with her instead of going as I made plans to spend the day with A, and not with Z. I'm confused now, since other friends are saying I'm wrong. So to break the tie I'm asking Reddit. Reddit, AITA? Edit to update, I've since spoken properly with the mutual friends. They've apologized and said they didn't have the full story. I genuinely have accepted their apologies and there's no hard feelings between us. I've muted A's messages. Something tells me she's found this post as she was blowing up my inbox. Edit for context, I refer to her as disabled in the heading as she said, and I quote, "You left someone with a disability behind and didn't help them."